All right. So Judge Mathis, he said that the state of Tennessee um, took away your license because of health reasons, and he was alluding to a mental decline.
Seems
So,
like he's the one suffering from a mental decline. About a decade ago, I had a severe problem with type 2 diabetes. I was feeling very unhealthy, and I had some severe health episodes as a consequence. But also, you have to take 16 collegiate unit hours a year to keep your law license, and I didn't feel like being bothered with that. So, what I wound up doing was I had my doctor draft up a letter and I just claimed medical disability status, and I can renew it if I'd like or get reinstated. I just don't choose to because you'd be subject to a lot of complaints for what I say that would have to be answered. So that's just typical of the ignorance that he displays, which if he had had lengthy experience as being a trial judge and a practicing lawyer, he would have known better. He didn't check his facts, and that seems to be endemic with what he does. So there you go.
and he also said that, your show was canceled because of low ratings because nobody turns down millions of dollars and just walk away from Hollywood.
Well, I do. And that just shows the difference in character between his and mine. He's one of those bought off Hollywood types who ran the rainbow agenda for the longest time at their behest. I refused. And when I got tired of the game and them owing me a lot of money, I just said I'd retire. I hired a lawyer to retrieve what was owed me. And about 10 years ago, he turned up missing, presumed dead. Nobody's seen him since. All of the retainers, several $100,000 worth, got returned to me by his former law firm. So it's an unfortunate situation. At the time I retired, I was running number one or two. It was me, Judy, and then it was Wheel of Fortune, followed quite a few down by Oprah, and then Dr. Phil. And by the way, Phil, Oprah, myself, and Judy were in the same CBS syndication unit. And if he was not suffering from the ignorance that he so often manifests, he would have realized that at that point in time, social media was coming into its own, and broadcast television was suffering in overall ratings. But in terms of the individual shows, where you ranked was as they had remained, and it was either Judy or myself as one and two, not just in judge shows, but in overall syndication. And Mathis, if I recall, was somewhere down in the 140s and 150s with a niche market. So it is what it is. So, no, I was at the top of the game, and I always knew from life that if you're going to leave something, leave when you're at the top. And I just got sick of Hollywood and what it was doing because it wasn't real world. And I've never been in a more corrupt, vile environment in my life than Hollywood.
So here's the thing though, because yeah, he was telling people on Art of Dialogue interview, go look it up. Because if you look it up, it's going to say his license is inactive due to medical reasons. Okay. But he was alluding medical reasons, meaning he was mentally losing it, dementia or what have you. And that's reckless. What do you call that? Reckless endangerment of the truth.
That's called reckless disregard for the truth. That typifies him. As I mentioned earlier, he was in a conference with several of the TV judges, all of whom had actually practiced for a considerable period of time and had been judges for a while. He made the ridiculous statement that everybody looked at him like he had lost his mind. He overruled the Constitution of the United States as unconstitutional. Like, he can't do that. So that's the kind of stuff he says. It's ignorant. He's selling wolf tickets, and I guess he's trying to become relevant because he has no audience except within the Hollywood community, and he's not politically relevant except he's a typical plantation Negro on the demo party, uh, Queen Rainbow plantation as it morphed from King Cotton. So
Right.
that's his problem.
Right. Well, honestly, this whole thing with the back and forth, hopefully, it just cease. You don't always have to respond to what somebody says. And, and I'm talking about Judge Mathis, and it can apply to you as well. But just for the record, he started it
Yeah, he did. So I mean, I'm
because
not
he didn't
one
like
of
what you
those
said about
people. Yeah, I'm not one of those people that just takes it lying down. So uh, I think he's on the defensive right now because I push manhood. I exposed that fake Kamala Harris imhoff. I exposed that fake Biden. I've been saying what everybody found out for years. I'd been exposing the game that they were running on the American public. I disclosed my opinions way back years ago about what was happening with the open southern border and what that was doing to American security interests. All these kind of things. So what has he done? He's put on At Home with Him, where he pushes that rainbow stuff, which is his right under the First Amendment, and he wants to come around and start trying to get some credibility. This is something that's in the 48 Rules of Power. And if you read that book, one of their suggestions is to acquire a following, is to start an attack upon some individual or some cause that your followers don't support. So I support manhood, responsibility, courage, bravery, principle, dignity, honor, law, and order. And he's supporting rainbow and boys in girls' bathrooms and wearing sports bras and panties and competing against girls. I mean, that's his right, but that's what he supports, and I don't. So there you have it. That's the difference that is out there. He needs to man up, put some bass in his voice, and stop trying to push what he pushes. I understand his family circumstances, but that's his problem, not mine. So, you know, he wanted to start this. See, this is like you open your mouth, you don't expect me to be quiet, but I'm not going to say anything else because I made my point. And all that's going to happen is he's going to come up with one of those little things that they come up with.
Well,
And
he's talking as if he knows some of your personal business, or as if he knows some
he doesn't.
scoop,
He
or
does.
knows someone in your family that's spilling the tea on you. And he now
Oh, he doesn't know a thing. In any event, the only person that knows what it was communicated is me, my doctor, and whomever, and it says medical disability due to type 2 diabetes.
right.
And
And you
that's
didn't
a
even, you
problem
didn't
a
even
lot
have
of
to
people suffer
disclose
from.
that. You didn't have to
Oh, I
disclose
know, but
that.
I mean, I don't mind it being known. It's just like I'm in much better health right now because I have good doctors and they take care of me and I follow my medication schedule and I'm not off into this everything's going to be solved by just eating fruits and vegetables because I know some people like that, and interestingly enough all of them were younger than me and all of them are dead now because they didn't want to take the medication, they wanted the fruits and veggies, and it didn't work. So I'll just say do what you want to do. It's America, it's your thing.
And
But
he
I don't mind anybody knowing that. It's just pay attention to what you're doing in life.
one last thing on the health thing that he's trying to harp on and trying to paint you as having dementia because you're 77 or 78. He's keep bringing up your age, and let me just say this for the record, because yes, me and you, we always have our bouts and go back and forth, but I never try to sit up here and act like I know more than you, especially when it comes to law. Now some history things we do have discussions, but your mind is still very much sharp when it comes to the law and the history of the law and the Constitution, to where I would definitely question Judge Mathis, because if I was to ask him to tell me all of the amendments, one through, what is it, 25 amendments,
Mm-hmm.
tell me the amendments, tell me what is Amendment 16, he won't be able to tell you Amendment 16 what it is. Amendment
Well, the
25.
point
So
is,
yeah, but
see,
my point is that you're right. He is selling wolf tickets because if you have to use somebody age, he's 65, he's up there too. But if you have to use somebody age to discredit them, that's very weak argument.
well, the point is, if you ask the people who have watched him and watched me, and in my case, there are millions of people that watched me, you would find far more that would assign credibility in the past to what I say than what he says, and many more right now who would listen to me than they would listen to him. So it's sort of,
Right.
this is the First Amendment territory we're treading on right here. The United States has a status of being a republic, and the citizens of the republic know what they listen to and what they depend on, and it ain't Judge Mathis.